Okay, this video is to address inspection cost. Some prospects are asking how much one would spend for inspection. Inspection cost is the money you have to pay to go for a physical scene of your property. So for me, we have two types of inspection cost. One is a free cost, free inspection. The second is paid inspection. When we're talking about free inspection, in the other video, I addressed that in my organization, we make available company's van to convey clients and realtors to location to see a property without having to incur any cost. The only responsibility of a client is to leave his or her location and get to our office at a stipulated time and day, and then we can now take him on a ride, take her on a ride to inspect his property. So if you are able to program yourself into our inspection day and time, then you can be sure we take you for a physical inspection of your property for free. Then the second one is paid inspection. When you decide to schedule your personal inspection, maybe based on your activities, you are unable to meet up with our days and time of inspection, but you still want to go see your property, then we will have to make arrangement for separate seeing of your property. So in that way, you definitely will attract cost. You'll be the one responsible for the expenses. Before we look at how much is the cost of inspection, we have to consider the factors that impact it. There are three key factors that impact inspection. One is the location. That's the location of the property and the location where the client is coming from. Two is means of transport. And then three is the inspection host, the host company or the realtor who is hosting the inspection. So talking about location, the distance we are inspecting your property will determine how much you're going to spend. Because, for example, if we are to inspect Ekbe, Lekki, or Ikoyi, Ikeja, or Lekki, Surulere, or we are going to Songota, or any other location, you have to understand that each location determines how much you would incur. So one of the factors that impact inspection cost is the location of the property. The second factor I mentioned is means of transport. So it is up to a client to choose the means of inspection, even though we are there to guide a client and to advise a client which means of transport it's more affordable and which one is more comfortable. Because some clients seek comfort, some clients seek affordability. So we have to put all these things in place. And so one of the means we use most often for comfort is logistic company like online drivers. You can hire Uber, Bolt, InDrive, or any other one you're used to hiring. And then when we are hiring a driver online, the driver is the one to charge us in this case. And you must know that even if you are taking the same driver to Ibejuleki and the same driver to Ikoyi, taking the same driver in the same day to Ikoyi and Ekpe at the same time, you must understand that the driver will charge you differently based on the location. So all of these are the factors we have to put in place. And if the client chooses to bring his own car, he still has a responsibility to fuel it. And if a client says we should be the one to bring the car, we still have to look at the conditions to bring in the car because the car needs to be fueled as well. And if a client decides to use a mass transit, of course, that too, you have to check out how much the mass transit will take you from your location to a meeting point between you and the realtor, whether before the office or in the office. So these are the factors that impact location. And then after then, you're still going to take a responsibility of paying for the realtor because you're not expecting the realtor to shoulder the responsibility of spending on inspection. You are the one who comes to invest, who wants to go and see a property. So the responsibility of a realtor is to help make the transaction smooth and to take you to appropriate properties. Though sometimes inspector end up spending, but it is never the responsibility of a realtor to spend. So means of transport impacts inspection cost. You are the one to choose which means you want to take. Are you seeking comfort? Are you seeking affordability? And then we as realtors, our own is to advise you on what is appropriate and whatever you choose, and then we move So the third factor I mentioned is the inspection host. That is where the realtor or the host company will have a role to play, which is advisory, telling you how we do it often, which one is more affordable, which one is more comfortable, and all of these things has to be put in place. And then going back to location, there are certain clients that when we are taking them to a location, they would not want to end up seeing only a particular property. Some of them, based on options, they want to make a choice. They will decide that they want to see 2 or 3 properties. And then in such a situation, if a client is seeing 3 properties in different locations, then you have to know that it will attract more expenses. The more locations you see, the more expenses you have to incur. It is like that. So these are factors that we really need to consider before going for inspection. So it will not be advisable for me to tell you that the inspection cost is 1,000 naira, 5,000 or 30,000 or 20,000 or 10,000 because there are factors that impact it. I hope this video is helpful to you. If you are seeking other information, you can scroll through the page. You're going to see other videos that will help you meet your inquiries. And if you want to get familiar with the prices of properties around different locations, a link will be left in this video. When you click that link, it's going to take you to a platform where we have a number of properties in different locations that could help you do your property scouting without having to leave your home. Thank you.